Hey guys, ArkhIce here, and I just watched BS Gaming's video about Belmos and what units global should prepare for, and I wanted to make a video on it, and I want to expand and everything since I play JP. I main both versions, right? And I make mostly videos for global, and everything based off my JP knowledge and everything else. And I've done this raid multiple times, so I'm gonna expand on what characters you should build and everything, what me and my friend has built, and what difficulty is the best you should probably do for, right? Before we get started, make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on that notification bell. You'll get notified for when I upload. Now, I'm gonna expand on the video because he did a really good job at explaining some of the units, right? Here's the thing that me and my friend use, right? So, my friend, Taco, as you've seen in my videos before, we've done so many videos together and everything, right? Because we're best friends. We love this game together. And the team that he decides to use, where is it at? It's Green Gother. Okay, first start Esterosa. Esterosa is the first unit that me and him both use. Because Esterosa is essential for this. He is the one character that you basically are required to use, right? I'm gonna just do that. He's the one unit that's required to use, specifically because of his counter card. His counter card is really good for this fight. I mean, really good. He does assume the stance and taunts enemies and then reflects damage taken attacks. And since Belmos does so much big damage, he just reflects back a lot of damage towards him, right? Even at level 1, it's really good. And we use our counters first turn. One of us does. One of us always uses his counter first turn, no matter if it's level 1, level 2, or level 3. It doesn't matter. One of you needs to use the counter first turn. That's what we do. And of course, his ultimate is really good, right? His ultimate makes it where he uses it, right, and it goes to enemy's turn. If the enemy uses any type of attacking type skill, even including ultimate, he inflicts a damage to them and makes it where they can no longer do the turn, right? It's a really good ultimate move, and it does save you a lot when it comes to this. It does, and you're going to be using his ultimate in the second phase, because I'll get more into detail into what his phases are and what he does after we continue talking about him. But his ultimate is really good second phase. It's really good to use to help delay the ultimate plus stance combo that Belmos is going to be doing, because he hits really hard. And then his attacking skill is a physical attacking skill. It's not range, because remember, Belmos cannot be hit by range, right? And this hits really hard because it's charge. And since it ignores his defense, it hits insanely hard against Belmos. It's really good to use. Really good. The second unit my friend uses is all the way down here. Let me just make these on the green. Is all the way down here. Where is he at? Zaratras. Zaratras is really good for this, and I mean really good. Because in JP, they made this a non-ranged card. They made this where it's him hitting. It's not ranged, it's a physical hitting card. So this card hits hard. And so is this card. Both of these cards hit amazingly hard. Shatter and then Charge hit him really hard. And combined with his passive and everything, because most of the time, you won't be critting this Belmos boss. You won't be critting him, right? So most of the time, you will be doing a lot of extra damage because you're not critting. Because honestly, Zaratras has a high amount of crit chance, right? But you won't be critting against the boss usually. And of course, his ultimate, it just hits really hard against him. Because it's a charge ultimate, single target charge, so it hits a lot of damage, right? So Zaratras is his DPS. And it's the start of the show, right? And then of course, also, another unit he uses, because he goes full DPS, right? He uses Green Jericho. Green Jericho is another really good DPS, right? And that's his team. He makes it up of Green Gother, not Green, Esterosa, Jericho, and then Zaratras. That's his team, right? That's the main team he uses and everything on his side, right? And on my side of the field, because Green Jericho is really good, because also Green Jericho, I should say, gets a, I think it's like a 20 to 30% buff against him, because she's the good, effective unit that's against him, because, each deathmatch has their own respective good unit against him. So, yeah, Jericho's really good against Belmos. But you're mostly going to be because you can use these freely. These don't do no damage to him. So you want to use these freely just to get some extra damage into and get her passive activated, because you don't want to use these yet. These you need to save to second phase. You don't need to be using these first phase. Save these for second phase, because these could help you get through second phase, right? And then of course, that's his team. The team that I use is Green Gother. Of course I use Green Gother right here, right? Green Gother is useless majority of the time, right? It's just his passive and rank ups. This can't hit the boss. This does nothing to the boss. And this you can rarely use unless you cleanse the debuff on you. Because there is a debuff that goes in and makes it you cannot use buff skills. But it's a red debuff, so it can be cleansed. And it happens for 2 turns, I'm pretty sure. I think it's 2. It's either 2 or 3. And then the second unit that I always use is... where are they at? Estarossa. I also use Estarossa because he's essential for this. And I'll explain why more into detail when I go into his phases and everything. And then the next unit I use that I'm preparing currently is Green Liz. Green Liz is amazing for this. So if one person uses Green Liz to help support the team, you can, number 1, save this for the second phase where you clear his stances off. And 2, you can constantly remove your debuffs and things, because when you, and then of course she has a heal card here that fills his ult gauge. So let's go into why her cleanse is really good. So the boss has 2 phases if you go on hard and normal, right? Which is what we play on hard, because hard and extreme are the 2 best abilities to play on. Not hell and not normal. You want to do hard and extreme. Those are the 2 best ones, right? And you can usually do hard. You can usually do normal to hard with a random, typically, if they know what they're doing. And then, but extreme and hell, you need to do with Discord, because this boss, if you make a mistake on extreme and hard, you're going to lose. I'm just saying that, right? There's probably a high chance of you losing if you make a mistake. Or if you get bad RNG. It's just, you need to communicate with your partner on hard and extreme and hell. Because it's really difficult, right? But on the first phase, on hard, the boss causes a bleed effect. And that bleed, he applies bleed, corrosion, poison. And that bleed does a lot of damage, right? And if you kill by Estarossa counter, you get an extra turn of bleed, poison, and corrosion affecting you. Yeah. So it does really, really hurt. So basically what we do is we do 1 counter card. One of us, it doesn't matter who, just 1 Estarossa's counter card. That usually gets the boss on hard to a low amount of health. And what we do is, either if I have a heal card, I'll purify everyone. And if I have a rank up after that, I'll rank up everyone. And then my friend will use Zartrash cards and Estarossa attack card to kill him and go and move on to the next phase. Right? And then the next phase, what we'll do is that one of us will counter, while the other one, whoever can rush Estarossa ult doesn't counter. And then the person who can't rush Estarossa ult does counter. Because the boss's single targets in the second phase remove all of your ult gauge. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure you have an Estarossa counter ready and an Estarossa ult ready from someone. The Estarossa ult you're going to use next turn. And the next turn comes around, you use it because the next turn when it goes into the boss's phase, he's going to stance and has an ultimate ready. So he's going to stance, you're going to ult, then you're going to have make sure you have an ult removal card ready by that phase, by that turn. If you cannot get an ult removal card ready by that turn, the turn when it comes to your turn to use an Estarossa ult, if it's possible, your Zartrash user could actually kill. If your Zartrash user has an ult and several Zartrash cards, plus you have several Estarossa attack cards, you can kill the boss very easily. It's just one thing to note, that I wouldn't attack unless you guarantee you can kill. Because what the boss does is that when he's lower health he is, the more damage he does. And I found on hard that if he gets below 50%, he basically will one-shot you with an AoE. And it's not a fun time when he starts getting lower health. Just remember, keep that in mind. So that's it, right? That's a strategy that me and my friend use, and usually it works on hard. And hard and extreme are the best to do when it comes to grinding this, because it gives you the most amount of materials overall, usually, and it's just easier than hell. Hell is just really, really tough, right? Yeah, so that's the teams that we use. Yeah. Another thing to note is that there is another team that works extremely well on hell, except I'm not too versed into it. So I will leave a video link in the description of, I think her name's Roseanne. Sorry if I said that. Of her video of doing a green DM Meliotto strat that works really, really well for hell, right? I'll leave that video in the description. I'm also going to leave BS's video in the description because he goes into some units I don't go into, because I just wanted to go into my strategy for it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye!